Hello, and welcome to another Allstays video. I'm kind of tying this video in to an incident that happened to us while we were traveling to our latest work camping job in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we had actually made a stop. We kind of didn't really plan on the stop. We just decided we were going to stay the night at a Walmart that was kind of in the middle of nowhere. And there was a lot of farm roads around that area. So the next morning, I just keyed into Google Maps where I wanted to go on our final destination to head down the road. And so to get us away from that Walmart, um, Google routed us down these farm roads that took us to a the freeway. And as we were driving down that freeway, as we were driving down this road, this small road, all of a sudden a vehicle stopped in the middle of the road. This guy got out and started waving us down. So I stopped the RV and opened the window, and he pointed out this bridge that was just down the road from us that you can actually see on your screen at the moment. Um, and he said, "I'm not sure if your RV is going to fit underneath that bridge, but it's really low." And just wanted to give you a heads up. We realized we were not going to fit underneath that bridge. And as you can see from the photo here, there really isn't an easy way to turn around a 26-foot RV that is towing a car on the back, especially since we have a carrier on the back and the tongue's extended. We're probably more like 35 to 38 feet with the car included and everything. And of course, we can't back up with the car on. So in order to get out of that situation, ultimately what we did was we pulled over into this area over here next to the train tracks. We pulled the car over, and then I had to pull the RV as forward as far as I could and then back up into that so that I could then pull forward. And then we met up down the road later to put the car back on the RV. The point of this story is that we could have actually avoided that situation by using Allstays as we should have in either the evening before we went to bed or in the morning before we took off. As I said, we were in a Walmart parking lot, and it would not have been very difficult to go to Allstays to see if there were any low bridges. Now you can, if you use allstays.com or use I'm going to go to allstays.com here. If you use allstays.com, you can use it on a laptop, which is what I'm doing right now, or you can use it on a tablet or a phone, basically anything with a browser. You just go to allstays.com and go to Pro Sign In, and then you can sign in. So I've done a couple of Allstays videos in the past, and every time I do an Allstays video, Allstays kind of updates stuff and changes things around. So I'm not only going to go over how to look for low bridges on Allstays, but I'm going to kind of give a little bit of an updated primer on how to use Allstays or how. But the main point of this is going to be how I would use Allstays in conjunction with Google Maps to find out if there are any low bridges on the area that I'm going into. So I'm going to click here on Allstays Pro and then Camp RV Everything, which is going to take me to the Allstays map. And all of that purple stuff on the map will start to go away as you zoom into your current location. What's really nice is if you're using this on a phone and you click this little current location button, you tap it on the phone, it will take you to your current location that's on the GPS. Now this works on a laptop depending upon where it thinks you are, which isn't necessarily always accurate unless your laptop has a GPS on it, which most laptops don't. Mine is usually off if I do this. Right now it tells me that I'm in Dallas, but I actually use a VPN, which I'm going to do a video on at a later time. And the server location of my VPN is actually in Dallas, Texas. So right now, Allstays thinks I'm in Dallas. But Dallas is good because it has several low bridge signs. So all I have to do once I find my current location, if I want to see if there are any low bridges around, I note any that my RV won't fit under. Now, most of these my RV would fit under. I have a 15-foot 4-inch, a 13.5-foot, 16-foot. So I could pretty much say that I can travel anywhere around here and be, for the most part, okay. So let's find one that I am not okay to travel under. So if you click this little filter icon up here, you can turn various things off. Right now it's looking for everything. So I'm going to turn off camping because I'm not looking for RV parks. I'm going to turn off fuel stops and rest areas, storage supplies, and just put on bridges and grades. So that's the only thing that I have on. So I can start looking for some, there we go. We'll say this one right here, even though my rig would probably fit under that. It says low clearance, 12 foot, 8 inches. And let's say I wanted to avoid that. We're going to say, let me put back on stores and supplies. Let's say I was staying at this Walmart here in this Durant, Alabama. So I'm going to copy this here, and so I'm going to go to Google Maps and type in the address of that Walmart or paste it in. So let's say I stayed the night at this Walmart, which added note with Allstays if I want to find Walmarts. These Walmarts that are listed in blue, blue with yellow, are the ones that most likely will allow you to stay. And you can double check that by going down here in the comments, and people will leave comments as to when they stayed. It looks like the last person that left a comment here was 2017. They said quiet stay. So since it has been a few years, I would probably call that Walmart and double check that it's okay to stay there. But we're going to say that I'm going to go from that Walmart, and just for fun, I'm going to go to this Home Depot, wherever my destination is. So I'm going to go back here, go to directions, and switch that up so that that Walmart is my first spot. So now Google's going to give me a route that I could take. And since I've already looked at in my immediate vicinity and saw that I have a low bridge, I want to make sure that the directions don't take me on this. It looks like the bridge is right before the train tracks on West Alabama Street and Cemetery Road. So if I look on here, I can see Alabama Street and Cemeteries over there. So my route is not taking me anywhere near that bridge or any other low clearance bridges in the area. So if I would have opened up Allstays in the morning before we got to that bridge, I could have checked out the route that Google was taking me, gone here on Allstays, looked at any low bridges in the area, and made sure I avoided all of those areas. It pretty much would have been that simple. It does take a little bit of pre-planning and a little bit of time, either in the evening before you go to bed or in the morning before you take off. But it can avoid a situation where you have to turn a giant rig around on a small farm road next to railroad tracks. So that's a really good use for Allstays. Of course, as I've said in the past with many other videos, Allstays has a whole lot to offer. If I go back under this filter tab here, I can, if I'm looking for a destination, oh, there we go. We'll take this road here, for example. Um, it has all kinds of places, such as gas stops is one of them. It will also tell you where rest stops are, um, and it allows you to look for RV parks. And you can find those RV parks with very specific criteria in mind. For example, if I was looking for an RV park in this area, I noticed that there's these SPs here are state parks. This is a um, commercial RV park. So let's say I wanted to make sure that the RV park I was in was open all year. See, that took away some of them. And I wanted to make sure it had full hookups and laundry. So that took away the state park. So if I was to stay at an RV park in this area, based on that criteria, I'm left with this particular RV park. And it gives information about it. This, by dollar signs, it gives how expensive it is, most likely. This one would be a rather expensive RV park. And they apparently have a pool, and you can fish there, though. Other things that it offers is gives you a weather report for the area. You can go to the website if that particular RV park has a website. I can click that, and it'll take me directly to that RV park's website. And the add and see reviews allows you to actually see reviews that people from Allstays have left. So that'll give you an idea from other travelers and who use the app. And you can start navigating to that using whichever app you prefer to use to navigate. Now, I've been asked the question on my other Allstays videos multiple times. Does Allstays tell you, give you the best route to go? One thing that Allstays does not do is it's not a routing software. So I rely on Google Maps to actually do the routing for me. Typically, I don't use my laptop once I'm actually in the process of routing. I will plan my trip using a laptop, and then I will basically take those directions over to my phone to do the routing. But I'll use maps in combination with Allstays. There's actually, I did a YouTube video on how I do that, which you can look at. Keep in mind that that is using an older version of Allstays. So they have streamlined some of how it's used since that video. But that's typically what I do. I'll find the route in Google Maps, and then I go back and find where I want to stop in Allstays using the filters that are provided and things like that. Another little fun tip about Allstays, sometimes you want to see a place. Case in point, we like to check out truck stops and things before we go to them. So say, for example, I was traveling from this city and I was traveling south, and I see this Love's stop here, truck stop. Now it tells me that there are 80 parking spaces. Now that sounds like a lot, but for a truck stop, it may not necessarily be a lot. And if I want to park there, let's say to have lunch or stay a while, I need actually the pull-through truck parking spaces, since I can't back up with my car attached. So there's a layers tab over here. So if I find a Love's that I want to stop at, I can turn on the satellite layer and see the Love's. As you can see, this particular one does not have pull-through truck parking. So that wouldn't be a Love's that I would really be considering stopping at because I don't really have a place to stop. I can stop in these if a lot of these are empty. I have a small rig, so I can kind of go all the way over and maneuver it out. But it's not preferable. So using the satellite, I can not only look at stuff like that, but if I find an RV park that I want to stay at, say for example, this RV park at the very front has a beautiful picture of a pond that they have. That's not necessarily indicative of what the entire RV park looks like. So if I was to copy that name, I'll find it again. There we go. Parker's Crossroads RV Park. There it is. So that Layers tab would allow me to turn on the satellite and see what the RV park actually looks like. So as you can see, that pond picture in the front here isn't necessarily where the RV sites are. That's kind of off to the side. So I can use things like that to decide if that's a place that I want to stay, or whether they're making it look better than it really does. So using the layers is another great tool that Allstays offers. Another great feature is searching for different clubs. For example, if you're a member of Thousand Trails, you can filter for Thousand Trails and only see those parks. If you want Passport America and Thousand Trails, you can look for those. So if you're a member of an RV club or a discount club, you can filter on rates. And the rates are basically a kind of a starting point. I've noticed that since RV parks change their rates periodically, and there's thousands of different RV parks in this program, it's impossible to update them on a minute-to-minute basis. So if it says it's $21 and under, and when you call the RV park it's $25 a night, they may not have gotten around to changing that yet. But it definitely is a good start-off place if you're looking for something that's under $30, for example, or under $20. And of course, you can search by rating, and you can also search by elevation. So that is, once again, the basic kind of primer with anything that's updated from the last Allstays video I did to this one. If you want to go back and watch those, I did go through, I go through the whole process of planning a trip in Google and using Allstays to find stops along that area. In one video. I have 2 other Allstays videos, and I'm going to put the links to all of those in the description of the video that kind of go into depth in Allstays. I really like the app personally. We use it pretty much exclusively when we are planning our next RV trip to our next work camping job or what have you. So we do use it all the time, and it comes in handy. There's thousands of points that are plotted in there, and the guy who runs it is quick with responses. Every time I have a question, he always answers, usually within the same day or at least the next day. So their help is really good. So if you're interested in Allstays and you have not signed up yet, we have, if you go to the sign up page, it talks about everything that Allstays has to offer. But they have different membership levels. It's not just one. You can do the 1 year only. You can also do multiple years. And so anyway, you have options for that. It's definitely worth it, in my opinion, if you're traveling a lot, or if you're not a full-time RVer and you're just a seasonal RVer. It's a good idea to have to plan out your road trip for that particular season. And if you get it now or get it for Christmas or what have you, you can use it to start planning your next RVing adventure. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was informative. And if you liked the video, click the like button. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, click the subscribe button and the bell next to it. And until we meet again, happy trails.